Hi fellow makeup fiends and welcome to today's video for 13 Days of Horror. Today we're going to carve our lovely pumpkin. This was £1 at Morrison's and it's called a medium pumpkin. The really large one was £2, but I just really quite like the size of this one. It's really more practical for where I want to stand it, so I didn't want it to be absolutely huge. And it's really a lovely shape. It's just the perfect Halloween shape. Because last year when I was looking at them, some of them can be very misshapen, but this one just seems to have been picked for its perfection. So this is Eddie, our pumpkin. We like to name things. I have an empty bowl to scoop the insides out, and I have some knives to cut it with. So the first thing you want to do is, I'm going to use the other knife actually, you want to cut the lid. So got my knife in there. I always find this bit particularly hard, quite hard going, and this is quite a thick skinned pumpkin. But I just find that with a little bit of patience, it's okay. So what I do is I don't try and cut it in a circle. I just cut it in straight lines. And you definitely want to get an adult to help you, and just be very careful when you're doing this because it is quite easy to slip with a knife and cut yourself. So I'm basically just putting the knife in and then pressing it to cut across. It's not the fastest of processes, but it gets the job done, and I feel like it does it quite neatly as well. Now the further you get round, you can actually feel it starting to give a lot easier. So that's quite good. This one as well, this year, seems to be a lot juicier than last year's, and there's no waste with this because last year Alec actually used the insides to make a pumpkin soup. There we go. That is cut all the way around now. And then that is the lid. So we've got lots of seeds on the inside there. Literally the inside of this is just absolutely full of seeds. I'll show you that in a second. What I'm going to do first though is I'm just going to take all of those off there. So using the knife, I'm just going to cut into it and slide it through all the goopy bits. And there we go. And it will just fit back on in case of finding which way is where. There we go. So that is the lid done, and I've just placed it back on there to show you it fits perfectly. And now I'm just going to pop the lid off, and then we have to tackle the insides. As you can see, it's full of stringy bits and seeds. I just love my technical jargon. Can I have a spoon, please, Alec?
A spoon?
A spoon!
What size spoon do you want?
What size spoon do you think will do the job?
It's like a dessert spoon.
A dessert spoon?
A table spoon?
I'll have, well, whatever.
What about an ice cream scoop?
Will that work? Okay. So first what I'm going to do is use this knife, and I'm just going to take it around the edges here to loosen a lot of these seeds up. As you can see, they're kind of attached at the side there, and I'm just going to scrape the insides, and that just kind of drops everything into the bottom. And my glamorous assistant here, oh, an ice cream scoop, okay. Oh yes, you can feel it digging into the flesh at the bottom of the pumpkin. And it looks, yeah, it looks really messy in there now. It's like gooey brains. Oh wow, now that is attractive. So we're just going to empty its insides out into this bowl. Probably the best way to do it is to pick it up. Depending on how heavy your pumpkin is, this might not be quite so easy. But I've just picked it up there, and I'm just going to scoop out all these seeds. Maybe this one is fresher than last year's, but this process definitely feels a lot easier than it did last year. Ew, I don't like the feel of it though. No, I don't like it. I don't particularly like touching it. Right, so now you're still left with these straggly bits inside. So I'm going to take the scoop again, and I'm just going to scoop around inside a bit more. And as you can see, that's just scooping out everything. This ice cream scoop is the best way to go, I think. I don't know whether it'd be better if you used a metal one rather than a plastic one. I don't know whether the plastic one wouldn't be quite strong enough. Of course, when you do this, you're going to have to be careful because, as you can see, you do start to take away the pumpkin meat, and you don't want to make it too thin. Although you do want to take some of that depth off, particularly if it's quite a thick one. As you can see, this is quite a thick pumpkin. Exactly the most exciting of videos, but the whole idea of this series is to share in my Halloween sort of experience. That's not just horror films and wanting to create sort of horrible makeup looks, but it's also the importance of the pumpkin. We always get a pumpkin. I really love having a pumpkin around Halloween. I love having it lit up. It's just really very nice. Just a nice thing to do, I think. I've always done that since Toni was very small, so it's something that she's quite used to in the house. Right, I think that is enough. Really done quite a clean job there. And this is what you get out. So there's actually quite a lot there. So there's some pumpkin meat, there's the squishy stringy bits, and then there's the seed. Sorry, I don't know the technical names for everything. So I just used a sharp knife, and I used an ice cream scoop and a bowl. And now what we want to do is do the face. So I'm just going to put the lid back on, and then I'm going to decide which side of the pumpkin is the best one. So he's got a few little bruises on here, and I think here is probably the perfect place to put the face. So what I always do first is I usually trace out how I want the face to look first, and start small so that you can take it a little bit big if you want when you cut, because you don't want to do it too big and then realise that not everything fits. Because from experience, I have actually just kind of thought, yeah, I'll just carve a face, and then it hasn't turned out quite so well. Now, I'm not telling you this is going to look like a masterpiece, because it's not. It's going to look like your standard Halloween pumpkin that you see on any kind of horror thing or Halloween. You can get pumpkin carving tools that are a smaller thing. They're a very tiny little instrument. That's probably better if you want to do detailed work. But if you just want to do a simple pumpkin like this one, and you just want it to be a Halloween pumpkin, then don't worry too much about that. So the basic things you've got to think about are how you want the eyes to look. I've had them all sorts of shapes throughout the years, but I think that I like the triangle eyes the better, and with the point up to the top and then flat. So I'm actually going to plot the eyes here. I'm not going to take these too far apart. I'm not going to do that mistake. I've done that before as well. So I've got the two eyes kind of scratched in here. I'm going to take a nose. And it's easier if you sketch smaller, because then you can cut bigger. And then the face, I don't know what I want to do there. I don't know if I want to do a standard. I think we'll make him a little bit happy. So I've kind of done a curved sort of line there, and then I'm going to just plot a little bit in here and just give him some jagged sort of teeth. And then you'll not be able to see that too well there, but I'm very happy with how the face looks. So it's easier to start at the top, because then you can use the holes to put your thumb in and kind of get a better grip to do the mouth. So now that I've plotted that, take the lid off, and we'll start with these eyes. Again, I put the knife in and then I push down, and that cuts into it there. There's no need to wiggle your knife about. That's when you can kind of make mistakes. Okay, and that's it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take from the inside and we're going to push it and push it out. And you can see how thick that is. Really very thick, meaty pumpkin, this one. So far we have the eyes, and now I'm going to do the nose. And I don't think that children are ever too young to start this. I did this when Toni, it was her first, not her first Halloween because she was born on the 14th. She was just a baby that Halloween. But the Halloween after, so when she would have been 1, yeah, she was 1 for her first Halloween. We actually had one there. Now, where's that little nose? I think I just need to put it there. There we go. Right. And now we have a nose. So now I'm going to use the eye holes. I'm going to place my thumb in the eye hole, turn it round so I've got a really good... Right, so I have relocated because my battery ran out of my camera. But here he is so far. And all I've got left to do is the mouth now. Okay. So there are the corners of his mouth cut out. And then we're just going to add that jagged line in there, which are his teeth. And we'll just pop that out. That's it. He's kind of smiling, but he's still got sharp teeth. Cool. I think it looks really good. Now, 1 year, because with Toni's birthday being October, I always used to do a Halloween themed party, and 1 year I actually bought all of the girls a smaller pumpkin than this. Not too much smaller, it was just a little bit smaller, and I did the face, and then I did the back, and I actually carved their names into them, and then I did a little hole in the side and put string and put a candle inside, so they actually had one of their own pumpkins to take home, which I thought was quite a nice touch, and especially with her birthday being the 14th. I think her birthday was through the week, so we had a party on the weekend, so it literally was very close to Halloween, so they were able to all have their own Halloween pumpkin. The same year they all had plastic cups to take home as well. You can pick them up from the pound shop, and that's where I got mine, and everybody got like a cup, and then I did a goodie bag and made my own colouring book. So I've always done quite creative things for Toni's birthday parties, but look at that, I'm really proud of that. I think he is very cute. Our little Edgar. Right, now for tea lights you can use the small ones, but I've got some of these large, and I'm just using my little lighter here. Again, be careful when you are using any kind of lighters or any kind of matches. I like the big ones because they do throw off a lot more light and they do look a lot more effective. And then I'm going to stick his lid on. And there he is. And I'm going to move him into the dark, and I'm going to show you him over here. Not that it's really dark, but you'll definitely get a better feel for his face when you see him over here. There he is. And he's actually going to sit here. I decided I wanted him here because you can see him as you come up the stairs, and he's there, and you can just, I don't know, I quite like it here. We also have a plastic one that lights up and flashes. We have other decorations, but yeah, I think I quite like the job that I did there. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a very simple sort of Halloween video that's probably been done a million times and a lot better, but it's just something different, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. And so that's it from me and Pumpkin there. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, scaring is sharing, or sharing is scaring. Sharing is scaring. So that's it, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to love and leave you, and see you all soon. Bye.